Hola, everybody. So, probably about 2 days ago, a tweet went viral on the library side of TikTok. It might have gone elsewhere, but definitely on the library side of TikTok, where a mom was basically saying how much she would beg for funding to be added so that playgrounds could be added to libraries because it was cold outside and indoor play areas are so expensive that she wanted a place to be able to take her kids so that they could get rid of all of this excess energy that they have. So my initial thought when I read that, just as a librarian who works in children's department, was no. Absolutely not. But obviously there's a little bit more nuance to that, and as things go online, it became a huge shit show. And so I just wanted to come and sort of in one place share my thoughts as a librarian. So I'm really happy that people are again realizing that libraries are a great third space. That is a publicly available space that you can go to, that can be easily accessible to many people, though not to everyone, obviously. That it is free, that it is a safe space that you can go to, and that's great. I don't think we should limit ourselves to just one public, free, safe space. There can be other places, and there should be other places. So the first thing that I thought of, because obviously I'm aware, working in a town library, which is something that I guess other people might not be aware of, there is a Parks and Rec department. There is a line in town and city budgets for Parks and Recreation. If you're not familiar with the show Parks and Rec, that's what they do. And now obviously they are also severely underfunded, but that is the type of place and the type of people and the department that would handle such a request. So I want us to take that energy and sort of know where to direct it to, because I think what's happening, and there was a lot of anger when librarians were saying that this was a bad idea, and I think what's happening is that the idea that there is something in the library for everyone is getting confused with the library is everything to everyone. That is not the case. That cannot be the case. We are doing the best we can with the resources that we have available, already severely underfunded and understaffed, and so it is just not possible. It's not possible. There is a purpose to the library, and there's a purpose to other spaces, and I think we just need to know where kind of to direct that attitude and that energy toward. One of the things that I saw a lot of people saying, well, my library has a play space. Yes, many libraries have children's play spaces. That is not the same thing as a playground. That is not slides and the swings and like monkey bars. That is not the same thing. The play spaces that you see in libraries are meant to serve as a developmental tool. They're meant to teach sharing and to teach co-play and socialization, something that a lot of kids really need, especially when they're about to go into pre-K or getting into pre-K. And so that's kind of their purpose. Think of like the type of space that you might see if you go to a pediatrician or something like that. Sometimes they're going to be much bigger, sometimes they're going to be much smaller, depending on the size and funding of the library, but their purpose is not to exert physical energy. Quite the contrary. A lot of us have to deal a lot with keeping the kids well behaved, because next to the child that is playing with the trains, if they start jumping on top of the train table and banging the trains and things like that, I have to balance that with the middle schooler that's 2 tables over trying to do their homework, or the high schooler in the next room trying to study for finals. So the space is used very differently, and we have to balance a lot of different things. So play spaces are not playgrounds, and they shouldn't be, and they're not. And then another thing that I saw a lot was, well, libraries should be a reflection of their community, and they should just expand to meet the needs of the community. To an extent, sure, but I think when we think about how right now a lot of communities are asking for book bans, we really need to be very cautious with that line of thinking, because there are times, obviously every single day I am at work trying to see how to better serve my community. What does my community need? Every community is different, and so every library is different. But I need to balance that with my understanding of the space, with my capabilities, with what the purpose of the library is. There are many things that I want to bring to the library that I just ultimately decide are not worth it or are not a good idea. And that's where my expertise and my education and my work experience come in. And so yes, to an extent, but also you need to listen to librarians who are the ones doing the work and the ones in the space. So I just wanted to kind of give my 2 cents. I'm sure there's a lot of other ideas percolating about this and a lot of other opinions, as there are on the internet, millions and millions of them. But yeah, I just kind of wanted, I am a very firm believer that there is something at the library for everyone. But the library cannot and will never be everything to everyone. What a librarian can do is tell you where you can go to exert energy physically indoors. I can give that information to you. That is what you can use the library for. But I cannot let your kid run around and swing. I have shelves with sharp edges, and I have other children, and I have I have carts and books. I have things that can cause them danger. I need it to be a safe place for everyone. And you know, the whole thing that's going around about the teens and the kids in Ulta and Sephora, they're also at the libraries, and so we have to be on top of that. As you can imagine, these play spaces are great and they have the purpose. I'm sure you know what happens when a lot of grown-ups go. They forget their child. They forget the care, the person, the little human that they have in their care. And I am very, very upfront with them about it. I have told many grown-ups, I need you to be engaged with the child in your care, because we are not babysitters. We are not babysitters. I am there to champion for your child's literacy and to help them read and to help them learn and to help them develop. This is an educational encounter and a social one, but I am not a babysitter. And so imagine if we add a playground to that. It would not be the case. So let's fund our libraries. Let's fund our parks and recs departments. That is where those energies can go toward. And if your community is doing book bans, join to go against that as well. So that's just my 2 cents. Let me know in the comments what you thought about that.